La tua Assenza e tenebra, come molti dei tuoi romanzi precedenti, è un racconto che attraversa il tempo, abbracciando diverse generazioni, e sembra un elemento essenziale della tua narrativa e della tua poetica. Tu credi che siamo tutti portatori sani delle storie dei nostri avi?
Well, I think that in one way or another, we carry the stories or more the memories of those who have the people of the past, our parents, grandfathers, etc., etc. And for me, it's one of, I wouldn't say duty, but still it's feel for me. It feels like that's something that I have to do. When I start to write, I never think of going into the past and writing about that, but it just comes. It's like there is something calling to me from in the past, and so it's like some kind of duty to go and fetch all these memories that we have in our blood without words. So it's my job to put everything that we have inside us into words.
Sì, in effetti viaggiando fra il passato e il presente, il lettore può sentirsi inizialmente un po' disorientato, ma poi si abbandona a una percezione sincronica, contemporanea del tempo che passa. Tu credi quindi che la percezione lineare del tempo sia un costrutto della mente?
Yeah, this linear or this timeline that we have in us, or we want to believe that we have in us, that we can think rationally about time, about memory. It's something that we made up, I think, because we want to have a control over our life, and we want to believe that we are rational beings, but we are nothing but rational beings. You know, our feelings is that control us, and we feel something, and then our minds, our logic comes and try to figure it out. But to understand us, to understand the humankind, the life, you have to go into the feelings and into that which is underneath the feelings, the thing that you suspect or you dream of or you are aware of, but it's something very distant. And because it's so many things inside us which we don't understand, we don't fully grasp, but it's always there. It's always whispering into our blood, but we never give it a thought, or it pops up in your dream, or when you're passing streets or drinking coffee, thinking nothing, then suddenly something pops up that you don't fully understand. And that's one of the things that you can do if you are a poet or writer. You can go into that very thing that you don't understand and grasp it with words. It's and with word and the music of the word, with the style and everything. So for me, it's writing is going beneath all things and above also. So I want to grasp everything. So therefore I try to grasp the very thing that we don't understand.
Tu hai anche dichiarato di non avere in mente un lettore o uno scopo ben preciso quando inizi la lavorazione di un libro, e hai detto in una conversazione pubblica: quando scrivo, scrivo. Ma scrivi solo quando scrivi oppure scrivi sempre?
Well, in one way or another, you know, being a writer or poet, you're always alert. In a sense that I think you're always taking in, and often without knowing it. So ideas, part of character or some atmosphere, it often goes in without you noticing it, and then you sit down and write. You remember things, and you work from it. And it's true that I never think about the reader while I'm writing, and I think that's important, because if you start to think about how the reader will react with this and that, then you are on the wrong path, I think, because its story has to flow by its own will. Of course, the most important part of the work is while I'm writing, and when I'm rewriting and etc. So it's a long process. It's a lot of work, but I think being a poet, being a writer, being an artist, I think you have to be wide open all the time, always looking for ideas or things, and often without knowing it. So it's a dangerous thing to being around writers, because they steal lives constantly, faces, nose, hands, movements of the hand. So beware of the writer. Just if you see a writer, just go away, run away.
Ok. In una frase del romanzo, che è anche riportata in quarta di copertina, troviamo questa frase: forse è stato il diavolo a creare l'uomo, e quando Dio si è accorto che era troppo tardi, ci ha regalato la musica e il senso di colpa, e a noi islandesi l'acqua geotermale. Ma cosa credi ci abbia voluto regalare Dio quando ci ha regalato il senso di colpa?
Well, we could, of course, discuss endlessly about God, or if God exists, if He exists, is it he or she or it or whatever. I have just recently published a book in Iceland, which was published 2 weeks ago. Well, it's a short story about a character who goes to heaven or to God or to his house or office to get an appointment. And he gets there. It's not a short way from Iceland. He lies very close to both heaven and hell in Iceland. and he is number 2,000 something in the line. And then so he have to wait a lot. But when it's getting close to him, people start to whisper and it's some tense in the air. And he hear that suddenly behind this big door that everybody goes through, and we all think that God is there, suddenly people are whispering, nobody is sure if it's a God or the devil who is there. Some minutes later or hours later, when he's getting very close, the whispering is getting more intense, and people are saying, maybe he doesn't know himself if he's God or devil. And I think that's a fact.
Ok, restando sulla musica, nel romanzo ce n'è tantissima ed è raccolta in una playlist della morte che troviamo alla fine del romanzo. Ci puoi raccontare come l'hai composta e perché si intitola Playlist della morte?
Well, partly I want to believe that many of the songs were chosen by the characters, not me, and most of the songs I like myself, and I've listened to them very often, but one are not on my top list, but because it was it fit with the character. Music has always been important to me, and I listen to music a lot. For me, music and literature, or music of words, goes together, because there is a music in the words, in the language, in the style, in the structure of the novel. But so I use it both without saying it, or mentioning some songs, or referring to some text, and usually they are part of the flow, part of the thinking of the character, and sometimes it expands the very thing that I'm trying to write about. But this idea about the playlist of death, or for the death, is that one of the characters says that death has a very difficult job, and he never has a holiday, never summer holiday or weekend holiday, and Christmas or whatever. It's all the same. He's always working, but he loves life. And he just wants to embrace it. But every time he embraces life, we die. And so he get this idea to put together a playlist to comfort death and to make him not as lonely as he is. And that's exactly what music can do for us, just as literature. It can comfort us. It can make us happy, and it can, even though it's tragic music or music with some sadness, it still makes us happy and not as lonely. So it's so important, it's so beautiful, and therefore we have to use it.